Okay, so basically we have this arrow can be thought of as touching parallelograms. Let's read this very carefully. Okay, the arrowhead joined to an irregular pentagon. What is the area of the pentagon if the total arrow is 1000 centimeters squared? So let's get some information from you. So the total arrow is equal to 1000 centimeters squared, and that's the entire arrow. So all the way through like that. Okay, so that's going to be 1000 centimeters squared. All right, did I say cubed? I mean squared. The top and bottom of edges. Now we have to look at the word edges. Now edges are these lines over here. That, those are known as edges. Okay, and remember the corners are known as vertices. If you ever have to see that. So you got the edges, you got the vertices, and the total arrow area is equal to 1000 centimeters. I've now divided it into two parallelograms, parallelogram number one and parallelogram number two. And it says here the top and bottom edges of the arrow are 12 centimeters in length. So I assume that's the top and that's the bottom. That means each of these are going to be 12 centimeters. So I put 12 centimeters there and I put 12 centimeters over there. Because this is a parallelogram, we know that the opposite sides of a parallelogram are equal. And these two have the same opposite side, a common side, which will also be 12 centimeters. So I have this parallelogram. And I can see that the opposite sides being 12 centimeters and 12 centimeters presents me with the exact duplicate on the other side. Also 12 centimeters, right? That's also going to be 12 centimeters. Draw it correctly. Okay, so we got a parallelogram and they both equal. So I need to know what is the formula to calculate the area of a parallelogram. And as well, we also have to look at the next part. So let's finish the question. It says here, they are 40 centimeters apart. These edges are 40 centimeters apart, which means that if I have to draw some kind of length downwards, we're saying that that length over there is 40 centimeters. Okay, so 40 centimeters is going to be from there all the way down till there. Okay, so I didn't really draw this too accurately. The bottom line is supposed to be a straight line. Okay, let me just fix it up quickly. So we've got some kind of straight line at the bottom here. And so that it's exactly 40 from there going up there. So that's 40 centimeters in total from the top to the bottom. Now, if this is 40 centimeters, that means I can calculate each individual height. Okay, and each individual height will be half of 40, and that's going to be 20. So 20 centimeters and 20 centimeters will be my height. Now, the area of a parallelogram is given by base multiplied by perpendicular height. So if I look at it from this, I can see that the base is 12 and the perpendicular height is 20. And 12 times 20, you can put it on a calculator or you can work it out. 12 times 2 is 24, so 240 centimeters squared. And that's going to be for one parallelogram. So therefore, for both parallelograms, it would be 240 centimeters squared times 2, which is 480 centimeters squared. Now, what is the question asking? Let's go back again. So the top arrow edges are of the arrow are 12 centimeters in length. We've done all of that. Give your answer in square meters. The question is, what is the area of the pentagon? Where is the pentagon? The pentagon can only be this part over here, but does it have 5 sides? Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, it's a pentagon. Pentagon has 5 sides. So if I want to find that area, which is the remaining area over here, which is the pentagon, then I have to take my total area and subtract 480. So my final answer will be area of my pentagon, or the remaining area, will be 1000 minus 480, and it'll come to 520 centimeters squared in total. All right, I want you to quickly try the next one. I'm going to give you a second to try it now. Any questions though? Do you have any questions? All right, let's go through the next one, right? All right, if you look at the next question on the right hand side there, this one is an ornate box, and we've got to calculate. It's in the shape of a regular hexagon, which is 6 sides. I want you to work this one out. And when you're done, let me know when you're done. Okay, try that one. Okay, let's go through this one now. Okay, so we pause there for a second. So if you want to finish that, you can. But let's continue now that we're going forward. All right, reading this question now very carefully. It says here, this ornate box is in the shape of a regular hexagon, and the length of each edge is 9.5 centimeters. The distance across the box from the middle of one edge to the middle of the opposite edge is 17 centimeters. What is the area to 2 decimal places of the base of the box in square meters? All right, let's redraw this shape. So we got a hexagon, which is 6 sides. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the ornate box in the shape of a regular hexagon, the length of each edge is 9.5 centimeters. So let's write that down. So this is 9.5 centimeters, and each of them are equal. Now, how do we know they're all equal? There's a word, right? There's a word that's inside there. What word tells me that all the sides are equal? Can anyone tell me? What word inside there says that all the sides are equal? Or you can regular. The word regular. So if you got a regular hexagon, that means that all the sides are equal. If you got a regular pentagon, all the sides are equal. If you got a regular octagon, all the sides are equal. All right. And the length of each side is 9.5. Okay, so we got that done. So we know it's regular. We've got that done now. The distance across the box from the middle of one edge to the middle of the opposite edge is 17 centimeters. Okay, so if I take the distance from the middle of one edge, remember the edge is a side. Okay, don't forget what an edge is. That's an edge. And then that corner is a vertex. One vertex, many vertices. All right. So There's a vertex, and that's your edge. And we're saying that this length over here, which is just the edge we're looking at, is 17 centimeters. What is the area of the base of the box in square centimeters? So we want to find what will be the area of this entire shape. Now, if I look at this, I've got to try and find different kinds of shapes that I can maybe cut it into. It could be like a diameter, yeah, but with a hexagon inside. That's true. It could be like a diameter, but with a hexagon. That's true. But the diameters actually would run from there till there. A diameter would run from there to there, which would be like slightly longer than that because this is from edge to edge, right? I'm assuming that this is 90 degrees on either side. And with that said, I can draw another one over here. And I can draw another one over here. Do you agree? Type agree if you agree that each of these sides will be 17 centimeters. All right, so that means I have two types of shapes here. I've got a triangle on this side, and I've got another triangle on this side. And I've got another two of these, which are rectangles. What is the area of a triangle? What's the formula to calculate the area of a triangle? It's half base times height. And that's the area of a triangle. And this one as well. So the area of a triangle is going to be half base times height. Yeah, base times height divided by 2. And rectangles, what's the area of a rectangle? Length times width, right? We've got two of them. Now, looking at this shape here, I know that this is 9.5 and I know this is 17. I also know if this is 9.5, then obviously if the sides are equal, then this must also be 9.5 centimeters over here. And then if I drew a line straight in the middle and it's 17 and I got exactly halfway in between these 2 points, surely I can just divide 9.5 by 2. And if I take 9.5 and I divide it by 2, I will get 4.75 and 4.75 centimeters. And that's my width. And my length is 17. So the area of one triangle will be 4.75 times 17, which will equal 80.75 centimeters squared. So the area is going to be 80.75 centimeters squared. Now we have two of these, right? We have two of these. Let's just write this one down for now. So the area of this one here is going to be equal to 80.75. And the area of this one over here as well, it's the same thing. It's also 4.75 times 17. And that becomes 80.75. So all we got to do now is figure out what that and that is, but we're missing something. We're missing something from that. I'm going to redraw those two triangles. I'm going to draw one of them over here so we can try and work out the area separately. So remember that was that shape over there. So this is 9.5 and this is 9.5 and this is 17 centimeters. I need to now find the height, the perpendicular height. How am I going to do that? Anyone know how we might do that? Let's suppose I call this height h. We got to use a theorem. And this theorem starts with a P. Can you think of a theorem that starts with a P? Something theorem it's called. Something theorem. Pythagoras, well done. Pythagoras theorem. And Pythagoras theorem says that if you have a triangle and this is your hypotenuse and you got two other sides, if you square both sides and add it, it will equal to the hypotenuse squared as well. And that's Pythagoras theorem. So over here, I can see that triangle on the side, and I've got two of them. So if I can work out half, I can work out the other. But why do I need the height? Why do I even need this height?
Because that's how you calculate the area.
Because that's how you calculate the area. Half base times height. So I need to get half base times height to get my area. And I know my base is 17. But I don't know what my height is, and I still need to work that out. That's why I'm going to use Pythagoras theorem. In Pythagoras theorem, I can see that this is going to be like y. So I would put h in here, and this is going to be my base x. X is going to be 17 divided by 2. So let's work out half of it. Let's just take 17 divided by 2. I get 8.5 on either side. All right, so I got 8.5 on either side. So I know that I've got 8.5 squared plus h squared equals 9.5 squared. So h squared is going to equal 9.5 squared minus 8.5 squared. And that'll become some number which I square root. And I get 9.5, put it in a calculator, square it minus 8.5, square it. And then square root the answer, I will get 4.24. 4.24 centimeters is my height. I can now put that into my area formula, and it will give me half 17 times 4.24. So we multiply 4.24 times 17 and divide it by 2, we'll get 36.04. 36.04 centimeters squared. All right, and remember that's the base I used. So that's for the whole triangle. So now I know what that is. I know that this triangle will have an area of 36.04, and this one is exactly the same. So let's place that in there. 36.04 and 36.04 on the side. Okay, now let's get the total area, or the area of everything. We're simply going to add all of these parts up. Okay, we want to add all of those areas up. The area is going to be 36.04 times 2 plus 80.75 times 2. Okay, and we take 36.04 times 2 comes to 72.08, and 80.75 times 2 comes to 161.5. And so we add that 72.08 to get 233.58 centimeters squared. And that'll be the final answer over there. Any questions? Any questions for this one? All right, cool. Okay, guys. I'm now going to take you back to the whiteboard. Let's go back to the whiteboard. And what we're going to be covering today is we are going to be equations. We're going to go back to some equations. All right. But in particular, we're looking at equations in the form of word problems. as well as writing equations. From word problems. Just a bit of reading that we're going to do today as well. Okay. All right. Spelled equations wrongly, and that's what we want to focus on today. Equations, word problems in particular. All right, let's start with a simple example. Okay, I'm going to start with a simple example like this. Okay, maybe not that one. 1 second. All right, I'm going to type it out. So, Bull buys 3 ice creams. Okay, so listen carefully, right? Bull buys 3 ice creams and has $1.75 change. $1.75 change from a $10 note. $10 note. The question is, how much are the ice creams each? How much are the ice creams each? Are each of the ice creams? All right, so this is a typical kind of word problem. And what we want to do is we want to develop an equation from here today. So let's have a look at that. Now we're trying to find our ice creams, right? We want to know how much are each of the ice creams. So we let each ice cream equal a variable. Okay. So to answer this, we're going to say let each ice cream cost X dollars. Okay, so we're going to make that X dollars over there. All right, so we're going to let each of the ice creams equal X dollars. We want to try and find X. Now, if I look at this, I can see some of you already got the answers. Well done. So Bull buys 3 ice creams. So if he buys 3 ice creams, he's going to buy 3X. So 3X is going to be the cost of the ice creams, and he has $1.75 change from a $10 note. Okay, so the total cost of the ice creams is the difference between the $10 note, right? And it's $1.75, because that's going to be the cost of each of the total amount, right? The cost of the total amount of ice cream. Let me write it. Cost of total ice creams, because he bought 3. That comes to 8.25, and then we divide both sides by 3. We get 2.75. 2.75 is going to be the value of X, and that's the answer, $2.75. So therefore, an ice cream will cost $2.75. Now, I put a lot of other stuff in here that you need in a situation like a test. So well done if you got it right. The first thing is developing an equation. You can get a mark for that. And then simplifying the equation and getting to the answer, you can get a mark for that. Writing a conclusion with a unit, with a dollar sign, you can get a mark for that as well. All right, so this can be 3 marks. Don't underestimate that if you don't have those 2 points, you'll only get 1 out of 3 if you got it right in a test. They want to see you working out. All right, so you've got to show you're working out. All right, cool. So go to the next one now. example number 2. Example number 2 looks like this. I'm just going to write it out. So we got Kylie has 4 thin refill pads and 3 thick refill pads with a total of 360 pages. With a total of 360 pages. If the thick pads have 50 pages more than the thin, how many pages does a thick pad have? Right, how many pages does a thick pad have? And that's what the question is asking for this one. All right, now no more typing. We're going to disable the typing. So talk to me. How do I answer a question like this? Can anyone tell me? What do I do? What do I make x? And where do I start? How do I develop the equation for this? Unmute yourself and then just tell me. Read it carefully.
Can
Kai.
you use equations like x and y and stuff? Like do like last time?
Yeah, so we're going to use x's and maybe y's if we need to. All right. What would I make x here?
And either thin or thick.
Look at the final question, right? Generally, we can make it anything, but at the moment you're right. It's going to be thick pads. That's what we're going to make x, okay? So we're going to say let x be the pages in a thick pad. So if we have that, okay, we can also see from the question, thick pads have 50 pages, all right? How many pages does a thick pad have? Okay, I probably wrote that incorrectly. Let me just double check that. Okay, so if the thick pads have 50 pages more than the thin, okay, can you see that? 50 pages, it is right. 50 pages more than the thin. How would I write that equation over there? If this is x, right? That means I would have to minus 50 from x to get the thin. Does that make sense? All right, cool. Now Kylie has 4 thin refill pads. So Kylie has 4 thin refill pads, so 4 of those, and 3 thick refill pads, so 3 of those. All right, with a total of 360 pages in total, so that means when I add these two together, it must come to 360, because that will be the total. So that's my formula. I've got 4 of the number of pages where 50 is less, plus 3 times x comes to 360. Let's multiply this in. So this is going to become 4x minus 4 times 50 is 200 plus 3x equals 360. And I've got like terms here. 4x plus 3x gets me 7x minus 200 equals 360, and now I plus 200 on both sides, so I can cancel this side out, or you can say I'm moving the 200 over, whichever one you want, and you'll end up with 7x, and 360 plus 200 gets you 560, dividing by 7. So therefore, I can see that x is going to be equal to 560 divided by 7, which is 80. So therefore, a thick pad has 80 pages. All right, type I understand if you understand. Okay, before we move on to the next one. All right, one more question. The next question you're going to try. So when I put it up, we're going to just pause and you guys can go through it, all right? Okay, so this question here says, find the dimensions, i.e., that means that is length of the rectangle that has the long side 2.5 centimeters longer than the short side, and a perimeter of 42 centimeters. All right, and that's the question over there. Give it a go, and when you're done, type done. I'll give you 5 minutes to try this, okay? All right. All right, let's go through the solution for this one. Now, how many of you drew it? How many of you drew the rectangle? Type yes if you drew the rectangle. Because drawing always helps. When it comes to word problems, drawing always helps. So I'm going to draw it over here. Now, what did you make x? What did you make x over here for this one? What will you make x? Remember, that's the whole starting point because you want to develop an equation, right? All right, I can see you guys are typing. Type some answers, yeah? Let me know. All right, so we're going to find the dimensions of the width, yeah? Okay. All right, cool. Okay, guys, so we want to find the dimensions. Let's go through this now. Of the rectangle that has a long side is 2.5 centimeters. Okay, so that's quite cool. So let's just label it 2.5 if we want. We could do that, right? But the question is saying that if we have to find the dimensions, I can possibly make one of them x. So what if I make the shortest side x? The long side is 2.5 centimeters longer. So that means I have to plus, all right, and the short side, I'm saying I'm going to make that x. So this is going to be x plus 2.5. And then it says the perimeter is 42. Now, because it's a rectangle, we mustn't forget the properties of a rectangle. The properties of a rectangle basically states that you have to have opposite sides which are equal. And if you add it up, it's got to add up to 42. So this is going to be x, and this is going to be x plus 2.5. So let's add all of that up into one equation and solve it. I'm going to call the perimeter P, and it's going to be equal to x plus 2.5 plus x plus 2.5, and that's all four sides. 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. I got 4 x's, so it becomes 4x, and 2.5 plus 2.5 is 5, and that'll be P. So the perimeter is equal to 4x plus 5. But they gave me the perimeter. They gave me the perimeter to be 42. Because they gave me the perimeter to be 42, I can place it over there. And then 42 minus 5 is equal to 4x. Using equations, I take the 5 to the right, the left-hand side. It changes sides, change signs. 42 minus 5 gets you 37. Is it 37? All right. And I got now 42 minus 5, which is going to give me 37. And I'm now going to divide that by 4 on both sides. And so therefore, I can see x is going to be equal to 37 over 4, which is going to be 9.25. Now, you can get decimals as an answer. That is highly possible. So you'll see this is going to be 9.25. And we then add 2.5 to the other side, because that's what they want. They want to find a dimension. So we're going to plus 2.5. And what is 9.25 plus 2.5? So I'll put it in here. 9.25 plus 2.5 gets me 11.75. So therefore, let's go with final answer. My length is 11.75 centimeters. We put some kind of conclusion. My width, or shorter side, is 9.25 centimeters. And these are my dimensions that I mentioned previously. Okay, it would be. Okay, so if you got that, type I got it, and well done if you got it. Okay. Try question 1, 2, and 3, or try one of them first. When you're done, tell me which one you've done. All right. And I'll just display the answers, and you can mark your answers. Actually, the answers are there, so you can tell me if you got it right. The answers are there. You can see question 1, the answer is 280. Question 2, the answer is 187.5. So try and get the answers, and then just tell me I got question 1 or I got question 2. Okay, we'll do this for another 5 minutes or so. Then we're jumping into a Kahoot. Okay. All right. Let me know when you're ready for the Kahoot. Let me know when you're ready for the Kahoot. Okay. All right. Just type ready. I'm ready for the Kahoot. I'm going to paste the link in the chat so everyone can see. Cool. Yeah. Send me your names. Send me your names when you get them. All right, there we go. We got 6 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more person to join. Perfect. And we are ready to roll. Here we go. Good luck. Okay. What equation represents this problem? I'll give you a second to just think about it. Why would the answer be 29? Now, don't type anything. Talk to me. You can unmute yourself and talk. Why would the answer be 29 plus x equals 57, if that's the question?
Because 29 is what was remaining in it, so 29. And you stack more bales in the bar, which equals x. Because at the end it says there are now 57 bales of hay.
Yeah.
Not how much she cost.
Yeah, that's it. All right, cool. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, it's much improvement there. All right, can anyone quickly explain why would it be that one there? We got 150 plus 50x. Why would the 50 multiply by the x? What in the question says 50 times x? How do we know that?
That's per hour.
Per hour is it?
Yes. Okay, good. It's the word per hour, right? That per hour means that that's where you put the x. Look for the word per, and the per will guide you to where to put the x, right? Okay. All right, it was this seemed like a difficult one. Took a while, eh? What does the R stand for? Okay. Mr. McCain works out every day. For every 30 minutes he runs, he burns 100 calories. For every 30 minutes he bikes, he burns 50 calories. If Mr. McCain or Mr. Kane bikes and runs for 30 minutes each, the expression for total calories burned would be 100R plus 50B. What does R stand for in the expression? The R is next to the 100, right? And it says here for every 30 minutes he runs, he burns 100 calories. Okay? So 30 minutes of running, he burns 100 calories. And for every 30 minutes he bikes, he burns 50 calories. So R represents the total number of 30 minutes. It's time. Because if R is 1, that's 1 minutes. If R is 2, that's 2 minutes. So for every 30 minutes he bikes, he burns 50 calories. That means that we are trying to calculate time multiplied by that. Okay. All right, guys. It's a little tough one around the end there, but well done to Green Horse. Has a streak with 3 correct answers in a row. Well done, and Fearless Bobcat getting up there. Ah, that picked up quite a bit. Well done. Can anyone explain to me why that answer is correct? Anyone? Why do you think that's the time he bikes? Why would B be there? All right, so if we're looking at it, we can see the 50 is exactly like the previous question. We're multiplying by that. So it's also faced with time. So well done for those that picked it up. Fearless Bobcat picked up Rapid Total and Smooth Hamster in the lead. We can see it's quite a tight challenge here. Everyone in the 2,500 to 2,700 region. All right, keep it up. All right. Calories burned. Okay, same question. Well done. Ah, Green Horse. Well done. right, Rapid Turtle rapidly going to the top. Rapid Turtle rapidly climbing to the top, and Fearless Bobcat second place over there. Well done. Well done. Well done. All right. 2 more to go. All right, we got 5 people there. I got 2 and 1. It's 8, isn't it? How did 8 happen there? All right, can anyone explain to me why that's the answer? Why would that be the answer?
Because the 2 represents $2 each time she takes out the trash, and it didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't say the T, so you don't click times trash is take out.
Yeah, that's perfect, Sophia. Thank you so much. All right, cool. It takes us to Dr. Puffin. Oh, wow. The bottom 2 is also fighting there for 5th place and 4th place there. And Smooth Hamster with Fearless Bot. It's going to be a tight ending here. Last question. Good luck. All right, here we go. Let's watch the standings. Let's see who is there. All right, Smooth Hamster, well done. 3rd place. Fearless Bobcat, well done. 2nd place. Oh, wow. Rapid Turtle, excellent job there, Rapid Turtle. You did a very good job there. Okay. That was awesome. Okay, guys. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to share with you the classroom page. All right. And you can just have a look at where we at here. Okay. I'm just going to assign it to you. Watch carefully over here. If you can see that. Well done again. Okay. You guys did very well for that. Now you'll see word problems and equation. What you can do over here is you can click on this link over here, and you'll see there's another Kahoot over here. Okay, so I'm going to click on this, and it'll ask you to enter your nickname again. All right. So I will maybe just put this on the chat so you can access it. Okay, so click it on the chat, and everyone can just go through that. That time you'll be working on your own. There'll be no time limit on this one. Okay, so no time limit on this one. And this will be the last activity. This one is talking to different kinds of questions related to that. All right, so, okay, that's going to be about maybe 5-6 minutes or so. When you've started this now, please type start or type I've started. All right.
Kamanch,
Yes.
I have a problem. My computer have a problem. I cannot start.
Oh. So what I'm going to do then, don't worry about that. You maybe try it later. For now, just have a look at the screen. You'll see I've just shared a few questions over here and the answers. Okay, we're going to just do the last 5 minutes of practice in word problems. Thanks.